What's up, guys? Joe Clinton 15 here at you again. Uh, I just watched Bruce Blitz's response on Saturday's Randy Couture versus James Toney MMA fight. The dude hit the nail right on the coffin. There is no way that you can reasonably perceive this fight to be the representation between boxing and MMA. Absolutely ridiculous. Um, like he said, James Toney is fat, out of shape, super washed up, and I'm not even talking about inside the octagon. I'm talking about inside the ring itself. The guy shouldn't be fighting in boxing. I would beat him. Um, I mean, it's just terrible. Like there is no way, no smart boxing fan would have given James Toney a chance. Uh, it's just ridiculous. It's a publicity stunt. This was a way to make money because fat ass beer drinking losers who go around pumping up MMA will be dumb enough to actually buy the fight um, and feel proud of their sport. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm far more of a boxing fan than I am UFC. I respect MMA. I watch it from time to time, but I just happen to be more of a boxing fan. But I'm not gonna sit here and be I'm not being biased. I'm gonna just straight up just give you the truth. Um, Aside from James Toney being fat and out of shape, washed up in the sport of boxing, he's not even the kind of fighter, or I should say boxer rather, that could um, compete in the octagon. It takes certain kind of boxers to be able to cross over like that. James Toney in the sport of boxing would be regarded as a slick fighter, a boxer, uh, in opposition to a fighter within the sport of boxing. Because in boxing there are fighters and there are boxers. James Toney is a boxer. Um, he doesn't in his career he had some decent power, but really his thing was about speed. And even as he gained weight, he still maintained some speed. But the dude has been so out of shape for such a long time that he doesn't have any hand speed, and he's at the tail end of his career. Actually, the end. I shouldn't even say tail end. He's at the end of his career. If you have somebody crossing over into MMA, the boxer has to be a fighter. It has to be somebody uh, like a Pacquiao or like a Tyson or like a George Foreman or just anybody who's not as technical, somebody who doesn't rely on ring generalship, but rather will try to take you out because uh, because of power, hand speed, accuracy, and the mentality to get you out of there, not to outbox you. James Toney outboxes people in his prime. So the starting point for this whole ordeal was just way off in the first place. Uh, a slick boxer who's fucking done. He's done in the ring. Excuse me, in the octagon. Kill it. Um, Another thing that's getting me mad about this whole thing is that whenever we want to compare boxing and MMA, we always want to talk about, oh well, a boxer can't do this in the octagon. But the conversation it rarely goes into what an MMA fighter would do in the ring, because we know that you can get his ass whooped. That's why every single time. Um, it's so funny to me. Like obviously, a boxer is gonna have less of a chance in the octagon. Most times, the MMA fighter should win. He better have a ground game, by the way. But most of the time, um, the MMA fighter will win. I don't know what the percentage would be. Probably high, more than half. But I guarantee, if you take the average MMA fighter and put him in with the average boxer in a boxing ring, 100% of the damn time, 99, at least 99%, the lowest, 99% of the time, the boxer would box his damn ears off. We know that. Even if the boxer is washed up. And I find that funny that people just fail to mention that. We have failed to see, a true MMA fighter hop in the ring like, you know what, I'm going to cross over. At least James Toney gets on my nerves, and he's a dumbass, but at least he has the guts to hop into the octagon. No MMA fighter, these people who are apparently all crazy and shit, whatever, they're not crazy enough. They know best not to get in the ring. They know best. Um, it's and that's what makes the sport of boxing so unique. It's more people, MMA don't get. It's more complex because there's so many fighting styles. There's so many things there's so many dynamics that you have to watch out for. And boxing is regarded as more simplistic, less complex, and MMA is all sophisticated. But yet, if the fighting is so sophisticated within the sport of MMA, then you would think that an MMA fighter would be able to stoop down, so to speak, into a more simplistic realm of fighting and be able to be successful. But you can't. And boxing is the only sport where you can do that, where you can take somebody from a different sport, same similarity, same concept, fighting, and they can hold their own. Take a sport like I don't know, hockey and soccer. I think that's a good analogy because just like within hockey and soccer are the same thing. It's just you're scoring with a puck and you're on ice, and the other sport you're using your feet kicking it in with a soccer ball. A hockey team will never beat a soccer team, and a soccer team will never beat a hockey team on the ice, ever. But yet in the sport of boxing, a boxer, depending on the boxer, can hold their own within a different sport and a different dynamic. That's what makes the sport of boxing so unique. That's what makes it the sweet science. And part of that has to do is because boxing has been around longer. The skills, the fundamentals have had within the sport have had a better chance, a longer time to develop, to evolve. What I guess I can just end this really right now by saying I want you guys to imagine 10 fighters, and you organize take 10 MMA fighters and 10 boxers. You organize matches, and you have 10 fights within the octagon, 10 fights within the boxing ring. And you give me the statistics. You give me the numbers on who would be successful, because I bet you not all 10 MMA fighters will win, because not all MMA fighters have a good ground game. But I promise you, the 10 boxers will probably win, every single one of them, every single one of them. So I don't want to hear one more damn MMA fan at my job, at the basketball court, on the bus, wherever it is. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear them out anymore, man, because this fight, fuck it, whatever. I'm done.